Well, hey crafty friends, happy Saturday to you. Or if you're watching this on replay at some point in the future, happy whatever day of the week it is to you. On this video tutorial, I'm going to show you this really fun Christmas project that involves these. They're button magnets. And if you've been watching DiyDreaming for any amount of time, you know that I love to craft with these. They're awesome. So, as you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. Feel free to sprinkle all that normal good stuff. All right, so we're gonna work with this today, which, if you've never seen it before, it is a surface that you can get from Magnolia. MagnoliaDIY.com if you want to look, and it's 11 by 14, I believe. And the cool thing about this is that this is magnetic. Okay, so we're gonna make a Christmas Advent calendar that you can put up maybe, you know, about the day after Thanksgiving, and that you can mark down the days until Christmas. And I'm going to show you a couple other Christmas projects that I got out. And we're going to talk about how you could switch this project up a little bit if you wanted. So it's going to be really fun. All right, so like I said, we're using this magnetic board. I love that this part's black and the outside is this really awesome kind of distressed, look at this part, wood. It's really neat. Okay, and we're using this stencil, which I've already been playing with it, and it's really cool. And first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just jump right in. First thing I'm gonna do, this is a newer stencil. I mean, I've only used it once, so it is new. Oops. And so I am going to fuzz it. All right, and fuzzing it is just making it so it's a little bit less sticky. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Carol. Hey, Garcia. Hi, Judy. Hi, Judy Wilson Rollins. Hi, Judy Zolik. I don't know how to say those. Hey, Candy. Hi, Tammy. Hey, Elizabeth. There's lots of you guys hopping on. If you like this project, or you have friends that are starting to think a little bit about Christmas, it has, I mean, it's still September if you're watching live. Feel free to sprinkle this and let them watch it. The cool thing about this project that we're going to be doing is the magnet aspect of it. And there's lots of different things that you could do with this magnet idea. All right, one more time. Let's see, do I have it? Good. The reason why you want to fuzz your stencils is because they're super sticky, these green ones are, and you don't want to stretch it when you're pulling it off, all right? And if you haven't fuzzed it, or if it hasn't been used a little bit, it can have a tendency to stretch. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my stencil and lay it on here, and we'll get the placement figured out. It fits like perfectly with this, this board. Okay. Having a hard time getting my fingers under it. Okay, let's try one more time. And if you're joining on Facebook and the comments are driving you crazy, they're right in the way of my hands, you should be able to swipe those away either with your cursor or your finger or your mouse, depending on what kind of a device you're watching this on. If you're watching on YouTube, you should not have any problems at all. Okay, so I have just laid it on and pushed it down, and now I'm going to use chalk paste. And what I want to suggest to you is that this stencil also looks fabulous on a white background. And if you were doing white, then you could either use black for the numbers, and you could use red and green chalk paste. This one is called Peppermint Leaf. It's a great green. This one is called Old Glory Red. But because we're dealing with a white with a black background and the white edge, I'm just going to use white chalk paste. All right. And you're going to see it go on so quick. As soon as I get this on, I'll throw it into a little tub of water, and then I'll show you some of these other Christmas projects that I got out. So I'm just adding a teeny bit of distilled water to my chalk paste. Every now and again, I like to do that. And I'm going to use my little stir thing just to put some blobs of it on my board. I'm using one of these squeegees. This is big enough that I can see. I don't need my glasses for this. So we're seriously just going to be pushing it through the holes. It's going to come together really quick. I want to resist the urge to keep going over and over and over the same areas. I say I want to because I struggle with that. Sometimes I want to keep going over it, and that is when I usually mess up and go outside of my lines or something. So I've got pretty much everything covered. Now I'm just going to pull off the big globs and I'm going to put them back in my little tub here. Okay. Let's see. When you're working with chalk paste on a like a board like this, you do want to work pretty quickly because your chalk paste will be drying as you're going along. And I'm using one of these plastic palette knives from Dollar Tree too. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's awesome. This is a good purchase to start with if you haven't ever stenciled before, because you can use the different pieces of that stencil, just the word Christmas, just the Christmas trees. You can use all these numbers, and there's a lot of different things that you could do. Okay, so this is the start. And I'm going to just set it aside for a minute and put my lid back on my chalk paste. And I want to show you these other projects that I have while we're letting this dry just a little bit because we don't want to smudge it up. Okay, this was one fun thing that I did last year, and it was just a door hanger. This is a round MDF piece that you can get from Magnolia, and they have this adorable vintage truck, and then it has all these different things that you can put in the back of it. And there's one with the rails on the truck and one without it. And on this one, I put a Christmas tree in it and a cute little bow. And this is chalk paste. We used the end of a paintbrush, just dipping it in the chalk paste to make it look like it's snowing. I did that on this other thing that I'm going to show you too. What do you guys think? Isn't that cute? Okay, but I wanted to use this for more than one season. So on the other side, I did the same thing. And these trucks are also an MDF piece. Can you see that, that I have elevated off the base of the board just with some of those little Dollar Tree Jenga blocks and some hot glue. But this one has pumpkins in it. So this is one project that I will probably bring out again this year. And if you're like me, I like to make gifts for people. I think they're so much more meaningful when you do that. I also like to make my seasonal decor. Everything from stuff for the table to stuff for the kitchen to Christmas tree ornaments. Oh my word. If you haven't already liked and followed DiyDreaming, it's up here on Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, you should do that because for the last 2 years, we have made a ton of awesome, super affordable, really quick and easy Christmas ornaments. And one of them was, oh Gosh, I loved it, and I haven't gotten it out yet. It was Joseph, Mary, and Jesus made out of little Jenga blocks. Oh, it was precious. We did all kinds of things. Anyways, so that is one thing I wanted to show you while we're waiting for this other thing to dry. And here's the other. Just grab this. Okay, so this is a set of stacking trays that are meant to be used as trays, you know. They have handles, but they're also great because they'll stand up because of the width of them. So last year I made these and I put them on my mantle and they were beautiful. Let's see which way is the best way to go. Like this. And this is a similar finish to the frame that we just did, to this. Okay, and I tend to like things a little more neutral. So these are these Village of Old houses, the stencil that I just got a new one for. Let me just show you what the heck. It's right here. I wasn't going to show this, but then I just felt inspired to. These are awesome. This one is a church. You can make them all into churches. There's a lot of different things you can do with those. But I used those, and then I used the stencil that says, "For it is by grace you have been saved." Ephesians 2:8. And you know, Christmas is a celebration of Christ's birth, so I think it's the perfect time to remind us about the ultimate gift, which is the gift of grace and salvation. So anyways, I made these, and then I did the same thing with the end of a paintbrush, just dipping it into my little pot of chalk paste and putting blobs on here. I didn't seal or anything to this. The chalk paste is really pretty stable, and unless you get it wet, it's gonna stay where it is. But the thing I have with this is that I could wash it off if I wanted at any future point, but it's just too awesome. I don't think I will. Isn't that cute? I did a lot of things with that stencil set last year. All right, so let's try our, let me just get this a little bit dry because I really don't want to mess it up. And I'm just using my heat gun for a second. I do see a couple of places where I have some little boo-boos that I'll fix with a toothpick. I'll just scratch the chalk paste off where it sort of bled under my stencil because I must have not pushed it down good enough right here. Oops. Okay, I'm going to say that's pretty dry, or dry enough for right now. Okay, so the other thing I did, the fun thing that I did that I was saving to the last to show you, is I took some of these little button magnets, which will totally stick to this magnetic board, and I made some Christmas trees. I just made 2 different colors to show you, so you can see what ideas are possible. And when I mentioned this project a few weeks ago, several of you guys said that you would be a little bit concerned about having your little ones move something around on this board that had a button magnet on it, just for the fear that they would pull the button magnet off and put it in their mouth and swallow it, because these are not good to swallow. So that got me thinking, how can we resolve that issue? All right, this is cotton duck fabric, and on it I stenciled the little trees that are up at the top, okay? That's what I was doing before I came live. I did two in this green, and on the fabric it's ink and not chalk paste. So the green is called Emerald Green, and it's great. I mean, these are so similar. So it's Emerald Green ink, and then I also did one with the black ink. And then I dried it. And I could heat set it, but it really isn't necessary because we aren't gonna ever put this in the washing machine. All right, so let's do it. I'm gonna show you the whole thing. And I was making a magnetized little Christmas tree that we can move around on our board that I feel like is gonna be a little safer if you have little ones. If you don't have little ones, you can just glue it to the back. You know, a 12 or 13-year-old or a 10-year-old or, you know, they're not likely to put this in their mouth. But if you have 2 or 3-year-olds, that's a different story. So you could just put it on the back. But this was my solution to our possible question. All right, the first thing I did, unplug was I wanted to figure out which side of my magnets are most attracted to my magnetic board. So I just laid them on my board to feel. And it's weird, but you will be able to feel if you do this, which side is stronger, okay? So I know that I want them to go on this fabric with the best side to the outside. So this is the piece that I stenciled, and this is just a plain piece, and I'm gonna glue, whoops, oh shoot, I messed that up. Okay, that way. I'm gonna glue these 2 button magnets with just a little bit of glue to this side. This will make sense in just a minute. So, hey Betty, how are you doing today? And I see Debbie and I see Cher. I see lots of you guys are on. So I'm gonna put 2 of these right next to each other. All right, and they're glued securely on this piece of canvas duck. All right, so then the next thing is we're gonna pin these 2 pieces together and glue them, and then we'll cut it out. And actually, I don't know that we really even need to pin it. Okay, so we're putting the magnets basically inside of this little sandwich of canvas duck. And I'm just doing a whole band of glue around the magnets and pushing the 2 pieces together. Let me show you. And then there's 2 different ways that you can cut it out. It's totally up to you what you like. I can't decide. I did it both ways. I don't know which one I like better. I'm gonna do just a little bit more glue because I really don't want anyone to be able to pull this apart and get to those magnets. And I feel like it's big enough once you get it to this with this fabric on it that a little one is not going to be able to put it in their mouth and swallow it. Okay, so this is what we have. We have a little sandwich of magnets. The magnets are inside the 2 pieces. And then you can cut it out like zigzag. For sake of time, I'm just going to do this one straight. And I was thinking, okay, so what if you want to use this calendar, this Advent calendar, but you want to have it be more Christ-focused or something? You don't have to use the Christmas trees. You could use something different, or even leave that blank. And you could, you know, do a small cross or something. But here's our little sandwich of a Christmas tree. And I did it before I came live on this one. Same deal, but you can see I cut, whoops, I cut out kind of a, I don't know, jig-jag edge. Do you guys see that? They both have the little magnet sandwich inside, and then here's the one with just black. And let's see how we think it would work. I hope it does. Okay. So you can take this and move it around your calendar as it gets closer and closer and closer to Christmas until it's the day before and then it's Christmas Day. That's with the little green one, the little green magnet sandwich that has the straight lines. Here's the little green magnet sandwich that has the jig-jag lines. And you can see it's the same as these. And then here's the black and white one, which I think for my house, that is the one I would be more likely to use because it keeps the whole black and white theme going. But you can do this project on a whiteboard, and you can get white magnetized paint at a craft store to paint your surface if you want to do this exact idea. And otherwise, you could just draw a circle around the numbers as you're getting closer to Christmas. So what do you guys think? Is that a cute idea or what? I know it's currently a little early to be thinking about Christmas. I mean, it's September, and just barely September right now when I'm recording this. But, okay, the other beautiful thing about this project is after Christmas is over, you can just use a wet sponge to wipe all this Christmas off, and you can use this project for anything else that you want for the rest of the year. Then bring that and you can do other projects with this stencil. Bring that stencil back out and put it back together for next year. So, and it is deep enough that it could technically stand on its own if you want it. I would probably prop it up next to, in the kitchen somewhere, or where the kids take their shoes off and leave their book bags, or something like that. So that was our craft today. I hope you liked it. I forgot to mention, if you want a link to any of this, to this 11 by 14 magnetized board, to the Christmas Advent calendar stencil, or to the chalk paste, we used the white, or the ink, just let me know in the comments. Just say link and I'll get you all of that. The canvas duck fabric that I used to create these little magnet button Christmas tree sandwiches, it came from Walmart. It's just plain canvas duck fabric off of a bolt. The button magnets themselves, you can get them everywhere. You can pick them up at Walmart, you can pick them at Joann's, at Hobby Lobby, at Michael's. You can get smaller ones at Dollar Tree, but you are going to need something that's pretty strong to hold the whole thing on there. And anyways, if you like this and you want a link, just let me know. If you like this and you want to sprinkle it to your social media, that would be awesome. If you have questions about anything, or set this here and see if I can not tip it over. I can dig out the links for these guys too if you're interested in any of that. Or this. So there's lots of, whoops, that was my water bottle. There's lots of options of fun things that you can get started on for Christmas and that you can enjoy year after year after year. Alrighty, Debbie, I will get you that link. Estelle, I'll get you a link. Tammy, I'll get you a link. Just give me about 5 minutes to hop off, and if you're watching this on replay, I will come back and check. Also, I'll drop a couple of sets of the links throughout the comments, and I'll put it in the description of this video here and also at YouTube in case you want to look at it at some future point. Or maybe you want to do this project when it's a little bit closer to Christmas, but right now is a great time too. Alrighty, thanks so much. I'm gonna let you guys do some screenshots if you would like. And otherwise, let me just put this right here if you want to do a screenshot without my goofy face in it. You can kind of see it to remember what it was. Sort of. Ooh, just looking at that makes me start to get kind of excited about Christmas. Yay. And also just looking at this, you guys, I'm remembering that last year Dollar Tree had these cute little wooden Christmas tree shapes, and you could put a magnet on the back of that and use that for your Christmas advent calendar to move around if you would like also. But I think using these same little trees on a piece of fabric with some magnets sandwiched inside of it is fun too. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. And join me here tomorrow for Crafts and Crafts.